again, this is Susan Mattern with Long and Foster, Westchester, and What's Happening Chesco. And I am here with Hallie, and she is Hallie's Healthy Living, right?
You got it. Yeah.
Awesome. So, Hallie, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me on.
So we're here talking about Chester County businesses, and we're still in the COVID-19 umbrella. And hopefully in the next couple weeks, a lot of this stuff's lifting up and we can all get out and spread our wings once again and do our normal Freedom United States stuff that we do in the United States. So like go to the beach. So the couple questions I have to ask you today is what led you into this business of doing the healthy lifestyle?
Well, actually, my degree is in biology from college, and then I actually, instead of going to med school, I decided to become a special ed teacher. So I taught for 8 years in New York as a special ed teacher, and then I had my kids. And fast forward a couple years ago, I decided I want to get back in the health and wellness field. So I wanted to be able to use my skills set in biology and my love of the human anatomy with teaching. So I went back and I got a certification for health coaching, and I started Hallie's Healthy Living. So really, it was my desire to help people in some of the areas that I found difficult with health and wellness. I wanted to help people and coach them so that they can live their healthiest life through simple changes.
Okay. So how is your business doing pre-COVID-19?
Pre-COVID-19, it was doing very well. It's a newer business, so it was kind of in the beginnings of everything. Getting my name out there, doing a lot of networking, doing a lot of presentations for communities and just general presentations and wellness workshops. And then COVID hit, and things have been different. So I've had to be innovative. So I can't really go into people's homes. One of my favorite things to do is a pantry makeover, where we go in and talk about the ingredients in your products that you have, the food products, and talk about that, and some shopping tips and things like that. Can't do that. So I've had to make it more virtual. So I'm able to do my sessions online, thankfully, or through Zoom. And rather than presentations in person, I've been doing wellness webinars through Zoom or through different applications so that I can spread wellness, get my name out there, and still work with people, because we all need health regardless whether we're home or out and about. Health and wellness is always going to be an important topic.
So you mentioned that you had to be a little bit more innovative. So is there anything that, like, going forward, like when you do go into you can go into somebody's houses, are you going to wear a mask, or what are some of the things that you've implemented that you see like in the next 6 months you're still going to have to do? Is there anything that you've done with your business that you're going to be innovative as well?
Well, absolutely. I actually like the online platform a lot. So for people that are across the country that I can now reach, I have a broader reach of people. So I can do a lot more online coaching. And I happen to like that. You can still be face-to-face, but maybe not in person. So I can definitely utilize that. Definitely going to take precautions no matter what I do. I tend to be more on the cautious side, so I will always wear protective gear or whatever needs to be done. But there's just so many things I can still do. I did a presentation this morning for a group, so I can do a lot of things. And once again, whether I work with you individually or in a group or do it as a presentation, the knowledge is what I'm trying to impose. I'm trying to help people learn about healthy living through, I teach about the 4 pillars of health. And whether I do that in person or via virtual ways, it doesn't matter. As long as you're getting that education, as long as we're getting that connection, it's still the same material, and it's still me being able to coach you to help live your healthiest life.
Right. Have you really dove into the social media platforms? And
yeah, I really do. I've been, especially in the last couple months, on Instagram. I've always had a Facebook community, and please, by all means, check it out. It's Hallie's Healthy Living. I post healthy living tips and family-friendly recipes daily. So that's something that I love, that community, because people are interactive, and I feel like I get a lot of feedback from that, from people saying, wow, that really helped me. Talked about water. I talked about choosing the best cereals. So I've had a lot of great feedback on that. Instagram has been something that I've been adding in the last couple of months, and I'm seeing a lot more with that as well. I just love the interaction of Facebook. Instagram, it's slowly building, but there's more interaction with Facebook community. But I definitely am involved, and I use that as an educational platform more than anything else.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So diving into your business, the 4 pillars of health, can you like just give some tips, a couple tips, not everything, but just some insight about like what a session with you would be if I was to like if somebody was to contact you today and say, hey, I have this, this, and this, and I need to do this, this, and this, like what would your session look like?
Absolutely. So the 4 pillars of health are very simple, and I'm all about simplicity. I'm all about making simple changes for a healthier life. So the lifestyle, the acronym that I follow is LEAN, LEAN. So L stands for lifestyle, E exercise, A attitude, and N nutrition. So I use those 4 pillars as a holistic approach for people. So we talk about lifestyle. We talk about how much water you're drinking. We talk about when you're eating, what you're eating. That's more of the nutritional part, but just your lifestyle around healthy living. And then we talk about movement, exercise, meaning activity. And we just talk about different ways of getting your body moving. We talk about attitude, which is so important, about your mindset, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your health, how you feel about working with physicians and what that relationship is. We talk about attitude and mindset. And then last, of course, one of my favorites is talking about nutrition and the importance of fruits and vegetables, the importance of healthy fats. I do a lot with label reading and educating on how to shop, how to look for certain things in the market, grocery store. One of my passions is working with kids. And I love working with families and especially teaching kids about certain ingredients you want to avoid, certain things you want to eat more of, and making it interactive and fun. I'm all about activities and this interactive way of teaching.
Right. So I'm assuming that you've really incorporated this with your family. Is there any like really good like recipe that you do with your kids that you could possibly share with other moms, such as myself, even though I have teenagers and preteen? I don't know, is there something that you like to like do, like you guys are like, oh yeah, we're gonna do that this week?
Well, okay, so I have 3 kids. I have 2 teenagers and an 8-year-old. So they're at different parts of their life right now. But we do make nutrition and healthy living a part of our life. My kids eat plenty of junk. They go and they eat plenty of what everybody else eats, but they also know about what foods are going to do for your body. So we eat for fuel. We look at food as making our body strong and healthy. So with my family, we do a lot of gardening. So we incorporate that in our cooking and what we eat. So my kids have been more adventurous because they help grow the fruits and vegetables. So they're willing to eat them, try them. My kids will try different types of kale chips because they grew the kale. So that's one thing that we do. One of the things we love to make are energy bites. And I have an entire recipe book of hundreds of different types of energy bites. And they're so simple, you don't even need to cook them or bake them. You just put things together and you can have a lot of variety. You can make some more sweet than others. So we have a lot of fun and we kind of try to figure out what our favorite ones are. We do like little contests and cooking little expos. We have fun with that.
You know, it's really interesting because I mean, you and I pretty much grew up in the 80s, which I think was like total processed overload foods. I mean,
no fat, low fat, everything.
Low fat, which now is like so bad for you. Like, and you know, I have Hashimoto's, you know, is that part of what we ate back then? Who knows? Like, who knows what it could mean? I mean, I've heard it could be from Lyme disease, it can be from this, it can be that. I think it's hereditary as well, but whatever. And then now you look today, and I'm so anti. I mean, okay, do I have some processed foods? Yes, but not to the extent of what I grew up on. Like, I would have never in a million years had sushi at 12 years old. No. You know, it was like McDonald's and Burger King, and I think Chick-fil-A was starting to come around, but that type of food, we don't even, like, we ate it, this whole COVID thing, we ate at Burger King one time, which we'll never eat again because we had like the coupons that came in. I'm like, oh, let's go try it. They have that new, that meatless meat. What's that called?
Beyond Burger? The Beyond Burger.
Beyond. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, we'll try that. And anyway, so we all know, as like me and my daughter and my two sons were like, yeah, we're not doing that again. But then when I say, hey, I'm going down to Bon Bon Sushi in Westchester, what are we going to get for dinner tonight? They're like, ooh, like I was never that way until probably like in the last 10 years about sushi. So it's interesting.
And food trends definitely, I mean, they definitely changed. But even growing up, yes, we did eat processed foods, but I don't think we ate the quantity and how regular we eat sweets nowadays. Like, for instance, I don't remember. I mean, every family is different, but I don't remember Dunkin' Donuts like being so big and there being donuts and maybe we had one donut. We didn't have 10 donuts. Where I just think that there's so much more excess now. Maybe.
So I grew up totally opposite then. I grew up, my parents always had Entenmann's, always. On a Sunday, we had 3 or 4 boxes of Entenmann's, and we had the coffee cake open. We had the chocolate donuts open. We had all of it. And that was our meal. Like that was okay to eat, But
well, I guess it's very individualized, but yeah, I mean, the diet in general, I mean, in the 80s, there was no fat. Like we were not supposed to eat fat, which we now know is the opposite of what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to have healthy fats. It doesn't even matter. You don't even have to worry so much about the amount of grams. It's the healthy fats.
Right.
So that has definitely changed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like crazy. Cause I mean, even in the 90s, I remember like those snacks was like low fat this, low fat that. And then and then bread. I mean, we eat bread like it was like every meal there was bread.
Yeah.
And now it's like, yeah, maybe if we have like a nice Italian meal, we'll have like some garlic bread, which I make. Randomly, I'll buy the stuff in the frozen section, but I usually am like, just get the fresh bread. I'll get the fresh garlic, press it, put the olive oil on. Even my macaroni and cheese, everything was out of a box in the 80s. And then I think I really started changing when I was pregnant with my third child. I saw my two, because the one was 7 and the other one was 4, were like chunky. And all they ate was everything like chicken nuggets out of a bag. And they weren't like no GMO or anything like that. And like French fries or tater tots, like that's what my kids had. And then frozen broccoli, and then I would eat whatever. And then when Lily was born, it was like I changed everything. I started making my own homemade macaroni and cheese. That kind of started, and then I've developed that. And now over COVID, I started making my own spaghetti sauce. So I go get plum tomatoes. I mean, is it expensive? But if you make enough, you have 4 or 5 meals with that sauce.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah. And it's so much. Yeah. Because you're putting in how much sugar you want, not how much the person who made it in some factories putting in the sugar. And you don't need that much sugar to cut that acidic out of, this I cannot say it, acidity out of the
same with salt. I mean, it's the same thing with salt. Anything.
Right. I don't. Yeah, like right before I came up here, they're going to have Mexican food tonight, and my mom's like, "Oh, make me the guacamole." And then so it's funny that we're talking about this, because one of the things I did previous to getting my unemployment and all that stuff, since we couldn't work, was I was like, well, I need to make something, even though I had some stuff working and I had my taxes come back, and I lucked out. Like I could have been in a much different situation, but I lucked out because I got taxes back, and then I got the stimulus money, which is still sitting in my savings account. I'm like adamant, just keep it in there and build. But anyway, I started shopping for people from Instacart, and it's so amazing to see what each person is buying. A lot of people who stayed inside were doing a lot of the Whole Foods. I mean, a ton of people do buy, the fresh vegetables and stuff like that. But then, there's the people who were like going through the, like the health foods section of the store. And I only really shopped at the Wegmans. And I got to see all this stuff. I'm like, oh, they're getting tofu this or this, and it was interesting because I was like, oh, I'm going to try that. Or I'm going to go try this. Because now I saw with these people, and I'm like, that doesn't look too bad. So
it lives in someone else's life, kind of.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I even discovered no sugar barbecue sauce at Wegmans. I'm like, That's
Yeah.
awesome because I think it's so, I can take the sugar.
There's a really good one that's gluten-free too that you would like. I'll tell
Yeah,
you about.
so I've been trying to get back to gluten-free. I've been trying to do all that. It's just tough.
No, I know, but I do think that in general, people know they're supposed to be eating more fruits and vegetables. We're supposed to have 7 to 13 servings every day, so people are aware of it. It's just sometimes financially, it is cheaper to go eat at fast foods. Financially, it's sometimes easier to just get processed foods, in terms of time and commitment. So we just, as a society, have to decide how we want to live our life, because what we eat now is going to affect us 10, 15, 20,
Right.
30 years down the road.
Right. And that's what I was saying before, like with this COVID thing, like I thought we were going to be eating out more, but no, that's not what happened. It was like I'm home, so why go out? Or I went to the grocery store already, so why don't I make what I just bought? So it was interesting how a lot of stuff has changed, even in my kitchen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did a lot more grilling and a lot more just, healthy foods. And again, I think everybody, even in my house, I got to get more of those fresh vegetables. So last question, just give me a plug about what else you do so people know.
All right, so I do a couple things. So as a health coach, I help people. We already talked about with healthy living. I am also a mom of 3, so that's keeping me busy. I'm a teacher. I teach religious school on Sundays, so I teach 1st and 2nd grade. That's very fun for me. And I also have a virtual franchise with a great company that helps provide people with fruits and vegetables, and that's Juice Plus. So we have a way of getting 30 varieties of fruits and vegetables. That's actually not a multivitamin, but real fruit, the whole skin, the peel, same with the vegetables. And then I also sell an indoor aeroponic garden so that you can grow your own fruits and vegetables inside your house.
Yeah, it's super cool.
All around health. It's all about health for me.
So this is Hallie with Hallie's Healthy Living, right? It's a
living. You got it.
hard. It's a hard.
Yeah.
And I thank you for being here today. And everybody, this is going to be going live on every Monday and Fridays on YouTube, Facebook, What's Happening Chesco, as well as Instagram, LinkedIn. Everybody can find you either at Juice Plus if you want to plug your
Oh, sure. So my website for health coaching is Hallie's Healthy Living. So www.hallieshealthyliving.com, and Hallie is spelled Hallie. And then my Facebook group is Hallie's Healthy Living. And then my Juice Plus website, which includes Tower Garden, is halliesteinberg.juiceplus.com. Yeah, and I'm always here for anybody that has any questions. I love helping people and just educating people.
So if anybody also is looking to buy or sell a house, just give Susan Mattern a call. And I have a web site as well, and that's Long and Foster, www.longandfoster.com/Susan Mattern. And if there's you can go on and search for homes on there and all that good stuff. And then What's Happening Chesco, and then Let's Open Doors. So thanks everybody for coming today.